we're back out here with Seth out at Red Pig Tools. And Seth, we've been out to your workshop before and we've seen kind of how you make your tools and kind of some of the basics. But not every tool is designed the same, and there's definitely some ergonomics that go along with it. So you have some hand tools out here. So why don't you explain kind of some of the shapes and why they're shaped that way?
All right, well, let's start with the trowel. Everybody has a trowel. There's a lot of different shapes. Most trowels will have their handle coming out, will be raised a little bit from the blade one way or another, and it'll have some angle. A lot of them are made to be perfectly straight. A lot of them will have some sort of other angle. What you're really looking for, those actually indicate to you that the tool should be meant in a different way. When you have the handle angled like this one is, it gives you leverage, but it also makes sure that as you're working, your hand and knuckles has plenty of clearance from the ground, so you're not hurting yourself, you're not scraping into anything. When this handle is more parallel, it's typically meant for transplanting. It's typically meant for working more up and down so that you have a more comfortable grip. It's often used so that you can pry things up in a slightly different way. So that's an indication of how the tool might be used. That is one reason if you're planning to pry with a trowel, you do want to find one that has a thicker shank than most. The common experience that we hear from people is they're looking for one of our trowels because they've broken so many other trowels.
Gotcha. And then you have a couple other tools here. So
here's a version of an asparagus knife. This is an off-the-shelf one, one that comes from a fairly good quality company. It's nice and thin. It's got a lot of great use to it. People like it to pry up dandelions, things like that with it. Perfectly straight. Our version of it, you can see, is thicker, stronger. Right. We hammer down the side to flatten it to make strength. This is a tool that gets used for prying a lot. It goes into dirt and then up and lifts. So we thicken it this way so that it can handle more forces along this way. The angle here reduces stress on your hand when you're trying to lift, and this acts as a fulcrum. So those are, that's another example of how a tool shape changes how it might be used and how comfortable.
Very, very thought out.
Yeah.
You have a lot of hand tools, but you also have some long-handled tools.
Yeah. One of the great things about long-handled tools, and what we try and do when we sell long-handled tools, make them for people, is we do try to size them to the person. Most tools you buy at a regular off-the-shelf store are going to come on a 54 or 60-inch handle. They'll probably be about this height. This is pretty normal. That's great if you're about 5'6". Ideally, for most hoes, we would like to see a hoe somewhere between your eyebrows and 1 to 2 inches above your head. There's a specific reason for that as we use it, because it lets you keep your lower back straight. And I can give you a quick demonstration of that if you'd like to see it.
Yeah, I'd like to see it, because a lot of us just grab a tool off the shelf and we're down kind of bending over.
Yeah, well, let's start with the one that's too short. This was too short for me. Great for somebody shorter. Most people will get this tool, they'll put it straight down, and they'll lean over. And the only way to really work comfortably with it as you draw it to you is to have your back bent over the tool. If you happen to catch something, you're jerking, you're applying extra forces and stress on your back.
Right.
If you catch something, it also can hurt your shoulders. If we have the properly sized tool, which let's use this one for an example. You can see this one, the blade is within an inch or so of the top of my head. Allows us to hold it more like a broom. Put it to your side. A long handle lets you hold it like this. Your thumbs will be pointed up, just like you're sweeping. You'll be working off to your side. And if you look at my lower back this way, we're perfectly straight. And what you're doing is working out this way. You can reach. The other advantage with a tool like this is when you need to work hard, you can push down and create flex in the handle to provide extra pressure. So this is the longer handle tool lets you do this. It should come across you somewhere from your waist into the middle of your chest. Of course, angles will matter. And some people will find they work really close to themselves for eyesight, especially as eyesight gets to be more and more of a concern. Other people want the most maximum reach possible, so you can adapt and adjust the angles of the tool head and the length of the handle. But generally speaking, look for one that's about your height, if you can find one.
And if people are ordering the tools on your website, there's some specifications that you get?
All of the long-handled tools that we have on our website, which is not close to all the long-handled tools we make, we do give you the choice to choose based on your height. You give us usually a 4 to 5 inch range of your height, because that gives us the eyebrows to about 2 inches above your head, and we'll try to size it to the best of our ability to match you and your height.
So it's great to have all of this information. We all have tools, but it sounds like having the right tool and being able to use it the right way really reduces, you know, the stress on our body.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're spending hours gardening, you don't, and year after year, it's a hobby. It's the #1 hobby, and not just for older people, for younger people too. You may as well be taking care of your body, enjoy it, and get the work done easier and faster.
That's great. You know, so for more information on Red Pig tools, make sure you go to gardentime.tv, and we'll click you over to their website. So Seth, it's a wealth of information. We
Thanks for being
appreciate
here.
that, and looking forward to being in the garden doing it correctly.
Great. Thanks.